All right, let's get right into it because this is the question on everyone's mind, right? Is all this incredible AI we're using for, well, everything, is it secretly making us dumber? Is it actually destroying our brains?
Look, that fear, it's totally real. You can feel it. It feels like something is changing in the way we think. But here's the thing, destruction isn't quite the right word. It's not like a physical injury. What's happening is actually something a lot more subtle.
The word we really need to focus on is atrophy. Yeah, just like a muscle. If you put your arm in a cast for a few months, the muscle doesn't get destroyed, right? It just gets weak from not being used. Well, that's exactly what can happen to our cognitive skills.
And this all comes down to a fundamental rule of our biology. Our brains are hardwired with a use it or lose it policy. And that's not just a cute saying, it's a core concept in neuroscience called neuroplasticity.
So what on earth is neuroplasticity?
Well, it's your brain's amazing ability to physically rewire itself based on what you do. When you learn something new, your brain cells literally build new connections. The more you practice that skill, the stronger those connections get. But what about the skills you stop using? Your brain is super efficient. It sees those unused pathways and goes, nope, don't need this anymore. And it starts pruning them away to save energy. It's not going to waste resources on a job you've outsourced. You've definitely felt this before, probably way before AI was the talk of the town. Just think about using GPS. When you just mindlessly follow that little blue dot on the screen, you're not doing the hard work of building a mental map of the area. And what's the result? A lot of us can barely navigate our own neighborhoods without our phones. We've let that specific mental muscle just atrophy.
So that GPS thing, it's the perfect preview of a much bigger trend we're seeing now called cognitive offloading. With AI, we're not just offloading directions anymore. We're offloading writing, research, brainstorming, even decision-making. So let's break down 4 specific ways our thinking can get weaker when we do this. So when you dig into the research, experts are really zeroing in on these 4 big areas of risk. We're talking about our memory getting weaker, what some people call digital amnesia. Then there's the erosion of our critical thinking skills, our attention spans getting shattered into a million pieces, and a real loss of deep comprehension. Let's take them one by one. First up, memory. As soon as your brain knows it can get an answer from an AI instantly, it does something really clever, but also kind of dangerous. It stops trying so hard to store the actual information. Instead, it just remembers how to get the information by asking the AI. Suddenly, you can't recall the main points of an article the AI just summarized for you because that knowledge never really sunk in. Your own internal database just gets smaller and smaller. And listen, this isn't just some vague theory. There's real data. An MIT study found that a whopping 83% of people who used AI to help them write something couldn't actually recall what they had just written. The information just went in one ear and out the other because their brain knew it didn't have to do the heavy lifting. Okay, number 2, and honestly, this one might be the most important, the erosion of critical thinking. AI tools are literally designed to sound confident and authoritative, even when they are completely, totally wrong. If we get into the habit of just taking what they say at face value, our own mental muscles for questioning, for analyzing, for telling fact from fiction, they just start to waste away. And this chart really shows what's happening. When people use AI for writing, their brain's overall cognitive engagement drops by about 32%. Now, less effort sounds great, right? But the problem is we're skipping what's called productive struggle. That's the good kind of friction. It's the hard work of wrestling with a concept that actually forges those strong neural pathways and leads to real learning. If you take away the struggle, you take away the deep understanding. In fact, one researcher had this really chilling way of putting it. He called this trend cognitive extinction disguised as productivity. Wow. It's this powerful idea that by chasing efficiency, we might actually be making ourselves less capable in the long run. So, is it all just doom and gloom? Should we all go throw our computers in a lake? No, absolutely not. Because remember neuroplasticity? That atrophy isn't permanent. Our brains can rebuild. The real story here isn't about the AI itself. It's about how we decide to use it. It's a choice between a tool and a crutch. So this is where you've got to be really honest with yourself. Which one of these sounds more like you? Are you using AI as a crutch, just passively taking answers, trying to escape any mental effort, looking for an easy button? Or are you using it as a tool, actively challenging what it gives you, using it to push your own thinking further, almost like a sparring partner that helps you get sharper?
That choice changes everything.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually do this? How do we make sure we're using AI to get smarter, not weaker? Let's talk strategy. It really just boils down to 4 simple, powerful habits. Number 1, struggle first. Before you run to the AI, wrestle with the problem yourself. Give your brain that workout. 2, use AI to refine your ideas, not to replace them. Start with your own draft, your own thoughts. 3, fact check everything. Treat AI output like a first draft from an intern. It's a starting point, not the final word. And 4, after you use it, reflect. Ask yourself, okay, what did I actually learn here? If you only take away one thing from all this, let it be this. In a world that's trying to make everything effortless, you have to intentionally reintroduce that productive friction back into your life. Real growth, real learning, it doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens in the struggle. In the end, AI is really just a mirror. If you approach it with a passive mindset, it's just going to reflect that back at you. And yeah, your own thinking might get a little lazy. But if you approach it with curiosity, with a critical eye, with a real desire to engage, it can become an incredible tool that reflects and amplifies your own intelligence. The choice isn't up to the AI. It's up to you. What are you going to show it?